The early morning mist rises over the Etowah River. Birds call from the tree line, and just beneath the rustle of leaves, echoes of an ancient battle linger. Behind me is the confluence of Long Swamp Creek over here and the Etowah River over here. And this field is called Long Swamp Creek Recreation Area, which is a new Cherokee County park that opened up in May of 2025. I'm Jim Wright with the Longhorn Historical Society, and 2 miles south of Ballground, Georgia is this brand new park with its access to the river, new fields, and recreation areas that hopefully will bring people far and wide. But in the year 1755, a key battle between the Cherokee and the Muskogee Creek people occurred here. That battle was known as Taliwa, and it pitted Cherokees who came from the north into Muskogee land, which is here. The Cherokee won this battle, which pushed the Muskogee people further south of this area. So follow me today for Georgia on Location as we explore the history of Ballground, Georgia, and how it connects to Georgia geography, economics, and history. So let's go on location at Ballground, Georgia. Here we go. Georgia on Location is a video series where I go around the state of Georgia finding people, places, events, and things that connect to the history, economics, geography, and government of Georgia. So let's go on location in Georgia. Ballground, Georgia is 50 miles northwest of Atlanta and lies near the border of 3 physiographic regions. Georgia has 5 total physiographic regions. The 3 at the top of the state are called the mountain regions because the Appalachian Mountains are there. The smallest region in the very northwest part of the state is called the Appalachian Plateau. It is characterized by its flat mountaintops, canyons, and many caves. Next is the Ridge and Valley region, which has a series of ridges running on a southwest to northeast line, and in between them are fertile valleys. The Blue Ridge region contains Georgia's tallest mountains and the most amount of rainfall. The Piedmont region is the center of the state and the most populous. And finally, the Coastal Plains is the largest physical region and the agricultural heartland of the state. The mountainous Blue Ridge region is to the north and northeast of Ballground, the rolling hills of the Piedmont to the south. Piedmont literally means foot, pied, of the mountain, mont, Piedmont. And to the west is the Great Valley, which begins the Ridge and Valley region. There are a few stories on how Ballground got its name. The first story comes from Wikipedia and is more of a story than truth. We have to go back to the year 1540 when Hernando Desoto, a Spanish explorer and conquistador, explored the interior of what would be Georgia. There will be a link in the description about his adventure in addition to other Georgia things that I have mentioned in this video. DeSoto traveled from Florida into southwest Georgia and made its way through eastern Georgia up the Carolinas and into eastern Tennessee, re-enters Georgia in the Great Valley of the Ridge and Valley region. The story goes he came upon a tribe of Mississippians living in the floodplain of the Etowah River near present-day Ballground and played a game against them in a ball game, thus the name Ballground. This story is plausible because DeSoto would have been in the region. We have evidence that he made contact with the Etowah people at the Etowah Mounds, which is some 40 miles down the Etowah River. So maybe before he interacts with the Etowah people, he meets the Mississippians at Ballground. The next story is very similar to the DeSoto story, except that it was the northern Cherokee tribe playing a game of ball with the Muskogee Creek tribe, and the prize was 1,000 square acres of land where I'm standing, which the Cherokee won. This is closer to the truth because in 1755, the Cherokee and the Muskogee people were at war in a territory of North Georgia. They had been fighting for the 1740s and the 1750s. The Battle of Taliwa, which is at this location, the confluence of Long Swamp Creek and the Etowah River, was a fierce and decisive battle for the Cherokee, them getting the victory. Now, there are other stories that go with this. After the Muskogee Creeks are defeated, they move south to below the Chattahoochee River, and that current land boundary would remain until the 1880s. There's another story. It's not as, I don't know if it's true or not. I've seen it on a Eastern Tribe of the Cherokee document, but it tells the story of a guy named Kingfisher, and he was a Cherokee leader, and he was killed here. And his wife, Nancy Ward, picks up his arms and fights on. And this helps lead the Cherokee to victory. The Creek had battled, had attacked 5 times on the Cherokee line. And then what happens is because of her fame with this battle, she is called the beloved woman of the Cherokee and holds great political value, political power in the Cherokee Nation up until the 1820s and 30s. Okay, I don't know how true that story is. I've only seen it on Wikipedia, so take it with a grain of salt, so to speak. But it is a cool story nevertheless. The Cherokee held on to the land until the 1830s when white settlers started to move in because gold was discovered in 1828. The settlers began to sell off the Cherokee land in land lotteries before the Cherokee actually signed the land away. All this would eventually lead to the Cherokee removal from North Georgia, which became known as the Trail of Tears. The Muskogee Creeks are also removed a few years earlier. Some will be on the Trail of Tears as well. Ballground was an official town in 1883, as the sign says behind me, when a railroad was built to connect the marble quarry yards in Tate, Georgia with Atlanta. During the 20th century, marble became the dominant industry in the area. Most of the marble was quarried in Tate, Georgia, and brought to Ballground to make buildings and monuments. Tate became the marble capital of the state, and there is evidence of that with the old Tate High School building, Tate Cemetery, and the Tate House with its pink marble and many other buildings made of this distinctive stone. Today, Ballground is a National Historic Place because of all the history and old homes that are still there. If you ever get a chance, drive through Ballground and see the historic homes, murals of its Native American past, great local eateries and festivals, and visit the Long Swamp Creek Recreation Area. This is Jim Wright with Georgia on Location. Have a wonderful day. See you later.